everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Today I brought my business partner, Chris Sauber. Chris?
Hello.
So this is a question about contracts and budgets, and we will ask Chris for his input. So let me read you the question first. Okay, it says, I'm currently in the process of contract negotiations to purchase a medium-sized clinical research company with a partner who's not an MD. Right? So they're buying a medium. By medium, I'm assuming like grossing just under $1 million to anywhere from under $1 million to below $3 million gross revenues per year. Right? So, from your experience, what are the must-haves in the contract? And what are usually terms, conditions that people overlook when putting together a contract to acquire a medium-sized research clinic?
Well, you can go on all day about this.
Yes, we can. So what are your thoughts?
Well, don't focus on me. Go back to you.
What are your thoughts first?
Okay, so this is from what perspective? So who are they contracting with?
He's purchasing a medium-sized research clinic.
Oh, okay. So purchasing a medium-sized clinic, and it's just him and another non-MD.
Non-MD that are buying a clinic, so they have a contract in place.
Okay.
So
Between the two of them.
Yeah.
So what are they looking for in the site?
I don't know. They just want to take it over, I guess.
Well, that's not exactly the question I thought. Sorry.
You mean, well, from your experience, what are the must-haves in the contract? The purchase contract, I'm assuming.
Well, this would be more your expertise.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts?
A purchase contract with a building.
Yeah, let's say our company was buying one, right? DSCS. What would you put in there? I know a couple of things I'd put in there.
Okay, well you start.
Nice food also. What is that?
Vietnamese food.
Okay, so you want me to start?
Yes, you start.
So, peeps, what I would do, I'd make sure that I have in there, one of the things I would do, especially for a medium-sized site, the larger ones you don't really care that much about, but who you're buying it from, you need them to stick around for at least a year or two. If it were me, I'd have 2 years. So I'd have a contingency in place for 2 years. You would have to pay them during that 2-year period a fair and reasonable salary.
But I don't think you could do that.
Yeah, you can. You make a contingent upon them.
So you're not buying the building?
No, you're buying
just
their
buying
company.
the business?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you're buying their site. So you're going to have probably a PI or a couple business people there.
So assuming this goes through escrow.
Yeah.
Right, and the money's given over to whomever you've purchased it from.
Right.
So what would the contract say in regards to, say, the PI?
Typically, you put a down payment on a business, and then if you have contingencies, which this would be one, I would try to do 2 years, but if you can't get away with that, do like a year at least, contingent upon the site under new ownership achieving the same metrics at least that they have been doing. Because you don't want to just buy something and then everyone leaves because they got paid, and then you have nothing. You just overpaid. Basically, you threw away your money.
Right. Okay. So when you say you put a down payment, okay, you make a down payment.
Yeah.
So
give them something up front.
Right.
Usually,
so let's say you purchase it for $1 million, right?
Yeah. Usually
so you give
it's
them
like
200,000, 20%.
Yeah, 20, 25. I would go up to 50.
Okay. So let's say you do 50.
Feel good about them.
500,000. So you'd pay off the remaining 500,000 over the next 2 years.
Yeah. You would do it in like installments based on metrics.
With maybe a balloon payment at the end.
Yeah. The only thing is your deposit's non-refundable.
Sure. So you would lose that 500,000 up front. If
Yeah.
everybody walked away.
Yeah.
They're bye 500,000.
Yeah. The incentive for them. So you would probably want 20%.
Well, okay. So
I
better understand the question. So I think if I were to do it, I'd do it a little differently. I would try and negotiate the down payment for as little as possible, of course.
Yeah.
As little as possible.
Yeah.
If you get away with 5%, great. Whatever you can get away with.
If they're desperate enough, they do it.
Right. So you pay them as little as possible up front and the majority at the end. So in other words, I would pay, say, 10% up front, 100,000,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe make a quarterly payment of 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, pay them $600,000.
What are some other must-haves in the contract?
I think doesn't that cover everything? I mean, that's your biggest concern, right? That the staff sticks around.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, the key employees that are not owners,
right.
and also the owners who are still gonna stick around because they want the rest of the purchase price
Mm-hmm.
in installments based on when metrics are achieved.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, cool. Anything else?
No, but I've never sold or purchased a business, so this would be more in your.
Yeah,
Ballpark.
I've been through the process. So, what I would do, we really needed Adrian to be the cameraman today. What I would do, in addition to this stuff and the contingencies are important, you may or may not be able to do a non-compete where you tell them, hey, you can't for 5 years or 3
It's
years.
not legal in the state of California.
Right. In California, it's not legal. Although it's not legal for employees, I don't know about business partners.
Yeah, well, according to one of our business partners, he said it wasn't legal
Right.
at all.
And according to another, I heard that it was because they were under this. They were purchased by a big group, and they did have a 5-year non-compete.
Okay.
So that guy had to work around that and
Non-compete.
become a consultant, and so he was still involved, and then waited for that 5-year period to elapse, and then he was already involved in that group as a consultant, but it was kind of like below the radar. So yeah, I would try to get a non-compete in there, if your state allows that. And yeah, keep the key employees. Make sure that the contingency is super important in this case, right? Anything else?
Well, if
Let's go back.
there's studies in place, put that on me, I'm chewing.
Yeah, show them what you're eating.
If there's studies in place, I suppose you'd want a contingency on the purchase price as far as those studies remaining in place. In other words, not that a sponsor would ever disqualify a new owner from taking over payment, but I suppose it could happen. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So put that in writing somehow that the PI or
Well,
someone's
so-
going to continue doing
So on
the
the
studies.
contract, when you sign a contract, it both has the PI and the company name.
Yeah.
So I would assume they would be okay with changing ownership of the study.
Right.
But if a
Right.
sponsor were not, say it's their top grossing study in
Ah,
place.
for
as part of
existing
the-
studies.
As part of the purchase price.
Yeah.
You may wanna have a contingency in place for that as well. Purchase price diminishes according to what studies are lost.
Well, and that's why you do the contingency. But yeah, I would agree with you there. And then if the PI is not an owner, you would need some special provision to make sure that he or she continues with the new owners. If the PI is an old owner, then you need to work out whether he's going to still be involved as an employee when his contingency period's over with, or whether you're going to have to find a new PI and will they provide one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Good job, Chris. Back to eating, man.
Sorry for the slow start.
Back to eating.
Didn't understand the question.
Dan and Chris from the clinicaltrialsguru.com. Give us a call anytime, 949-415-6256, or email me, Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com.